Hello, my name is Danielle Barrios, and I am here to present to you my professional development plan for my years, my sophomore, junior, and senior year of college at Southeastern University. My vision statement is aspiring to be an educator, to be a difference and an impact in my students' life academically and also personally. I want to be able to look beyond the barriers and the uniqueness of each of my students and strive to empower them with skills, learning techniques, goals, and knowledge that is going to set them up for success. I also aspire to be a model of my faith and share my faith to my students through the love of Christ that has been placed in me and that has been a calling. My mission statement is that I will use these years of education at SCU to equip myself to the fullest potential to be an impactful educator that embraces my students for not only who they are, but who they can be to their fullest potential in the future. My professional goals in my sophomore year, I am currently in my sophomore year, so I plan on and I desire to study for my upcoming GKT that I'll be taking in the summer. I do also want to continue reading into Conversations with America's Best Teachers. It just gives me more advice and more knowledge on just how these teachers were able to significantly impact their students academically, and also maintaining my 3.5 GPA. Which is going to just keep me more disciplined and focused. My junior year, I desire to volunteer at the Tops Christian Academy in my hometown to expand my knowledge and experience on teaching in a religious-based curriculum, which is different than just volunteering at a regular public school or private school that has a curriculum that is not religious based. I also intend to have meaningful discussions with teachers, like interviews, to just get their intake on their styles of teaching when it comes to faith-based curriculum. Also, I would like to research on what grade my heart will feel led to teach, and have conversations with educators who are not only from that grade level, but also from other grade levels to just get some advice and more of a different outlook. In my senior year, I want to look into podcasts hosted by teachers. I see there a lot on TikTok where a lot of teachers are hosting podcasts and just sharing their experiences and their advices, just to get a more global perspective on teaching. I also want to dive into research on the mental health of students and how us educators can detect mental health in a classroom and how to attend their needs in the best way possible. And lastly, I intend to graduate very strong and just get ready to fulfill my passion as an educator and having a classroom of my own that I can lead. Now going into my university service goals, my sophomore year, I intend to apply to the College of Education to get accepted potentially and continue my education here at SCU. I also intend to join groups of my liking and maybe even lead one of my own where I feel led and passionate about, and something that God will just place in my heart to be able to lead. Lastly, I intend to participate in campus more, to be more involved in the SCU community, such as I know they do fairs here as far as even chapel, SCU conference, things like that. My junior year, I intend to and desire to seek a mentor on campus. More in the bracket of an educator, I find it important to have a mentor in education just to have guidance, seek advice for my future career. I desire to go on a mission trip with SCU, just a different experience, something that I never experienced before. And lastly, I desire to be a tutor at ACE into my junior year. Even though I'm not a senior yet, with the knowledge that I am able to also be a tutor and just a helpful resource to other students in my degree. My senior year, I desire to be part of a group of future educators. I believe it's important to be a part of a group that is in the same relation as you, that is going towards the same goals as you, and potentially all educators hope, you would hope that they want to be an impactful resource and be an impactful authority in a child and a student's life. And it's good to build friendships and just get advice for what you are going to experience in a classroom. I also desire to be part of education seminars as far as topics that are going to be spoken on, and just even ask questions more on the personal side with these panels that do come in. I also desire to host a prospective student at SCU. I actually really look forward into doing this, just to share my life experience on campus and have them look forward into enjoying their own experiences and their own encounters now that they are at SCU. My community service goals sophomore year, I intend to be more involved in my church and more involved in my community. Now in the summer, I intend to do the Miami Rescue Mission in my hometown to give back to my community. It was something that my grandma used to do when I was younger, so it's not something I'm new to, but it's something that, it's something that I really enjoyed. And lastly, I intend to go evangelizing to draw my community closer to Jesus and just really touch the souls who are open to opening their heart out to Christ. My junior year, I desire to volunteer in my church's church school for kids, which is hosted on Sundays, just to help with teachings and activities for the kids in the community. I desire to teach at the summer camp at the church, to be part in educating children about the Word of God to the community, and also just have fun with it, because that's what summer camp is all about. I also desire to join my church's mission trip to Honduras to visit the children and help out the community that our church has helped funded and helped built to help out these people and preach the Word of God. My senior year, I desire to search for a school in a local area to volunteer as a tutor to gain more experience in connecting with students, and also just learn more on the different types of students. And I believe that every experience you have in a classroom is always going to be different. So it's so good to just get more. There's never enough of learning and of experience when it comes to teaching. I also desire to serve at the Lakeland Dream Center to focus more on, helping the lives of local citizens. Especially since I'm not from here, it's very important that I get to know the city, and very important that I also pour into the city as well. I also desire to give to a local food bank to help the cause of hunger in our local community. And to end this off, I wanted to end with these two Bible verses, and one of them being, "Therefore, as God's chosen people, holy and dearly loved, clothe yourself with compassion, kindness, humility, gentleness, and patience. Bear with each other and forgive one another if any of you has grievance against someone. Forgive as the Lord forgave you." I believe it is important as educators to hold ourselves to this, to hold ourselves to kindness, humility, gentleness, and patience with our students. I believe that it's important to model these characteristics as educators, because our students look up to us. We are the example. We are what they look up to in the classroom. We spend, a good most part of the day with them, and it's important that we be an example to our students and show them how to ultimately just be great people in the society. Teaching and modeling ways of Christ gives our students the opportunity to gain an understanding of the way of life in our world, and how the world can never offer such thing as eternal kindness, humility, gentleness, and patience, but that's something only God can do. Second Bible verse that is one of my favorites is from Galatians 6:9. "Let us not become weary in doing. From the proper time we'll reap a harvest we do not give up." this Bible verse is very important to me because I know that as educators, it's important to have patience. God allows us and wants us to have patience to slow us down and show us that we can trust in Him. And we can trust in Him with everything. He teaches us to walk in His ways and trust in Him that He will work in your favor. I know as educators, our patience runs thin. We're human, and at the end of the day, we need to remember that there is not only a purpose in why we are teaching, but we were chosen to teach these students with these differences and with these barriers and with all that comes with it. God has chosen us, and when we run thin on patience, we must turn to Him and ask Him to really just give us the opportunity to be able to gain that and just trust in Him ultimately.